This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of NASCAR's top 3 series, send them through the ratings algorithm, and see who comes out on top. Here's a few tidbits to know heading in. The driver ratings are updated race by race to reflect the performance of that driver throughout the season, as well as at that specific track in recent years. The races are at 100% length and use normal tire and fuel wear. The starting lineup will match the real-life qualifying using the provisional starting order, not the one that includes drivers heading to the back. The weather will match the real-life start time data, and commentary will match the real-life scenarios, not the standings that will be posted at the end of the video. And as always, this series is for entertainment purposes only. Using artificial intelligence and using the results of this race for gambling purposes is discouraged. Time for a traditional Memorial Day weekend race. Coca-Cola 600, green flag is out. Kurt Busch leads them to the line. Drivers getting a chance to feel out their race cars qualifying for the first time since restarting the season. It looks like Busch has a good set of wheels underneath them as he took the pole in this one just over Jimmie Johnson, who slips back to third. But Chase Elliott, who got in the second place, now looking for the lead just half a week after a good race going for him, possibly going for the win. Got taken out by Kyle Busch going down the front stretch, and now looks like he still has a pretty hot rod out there in the front of the field. Johnson, no slouch here. He has a 12.2 average finish, 8 victories on this racetrack. He's trying to keep himself inside the top 10 as he has slipped back to 9th, still trying to fight his way forward. But Austin Dillon going to have a problem early in this race. He goes up in smoke. Erik Jones going to make a little contact with Chris Buescher, trying to avoid that one. But the 3 car is going to fade down to the inside of the track, stop on the backstretch, and that is going to bring out our first caution. That will set up our first restart. Chase Elliott out in front, Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano just behind, as well as Kyle Busch. We're going to have a little more problems, though, as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going down the front stretch. He's going to start going slow. He gets a little contact from behind from Brad Keselowski. He gets held up by that. So we'll see another car, Daniel Suarez, go by him. But the 47 drops out the pace, and he is dropping out of the race. Meanwhile, with some lap traffic in front of them, the leaders are going to encounter Timmy Hill, and Matt Kenseth's going to take advantage of that. 2-time winner here at this racetrack. And right now he's looking to go to the inside of the 9 car and take the lead just 3 races into his stint this season. We're going to have even more car problems as Clint Bowyer blows up, running inside the top 10, going into turn 3. He's able to get it off the racetrack, bring it down the pit lane, and there won't be a caution, but yet another car problem, sending another driver out of the race. Kyle Busch is definitely not having the kind of season that he would like to have so far. He is pretty successful at this track in terms of finishing position, although he only has 1 victory here. But right now, not running inside the top 10, a little further back in the field. Kevin Harvick has quite a few top 10s here in his many starts at the track as he now tries to make a move to the inside of Denny Hamlin. He's going for second position. They are still trying to chase down Chase Elliott. However, they're keeping their distance right now. They are not too far behind. Kurt Busch probably wishes he had led some more laps tonight after starting on the pole. He has dropped outside the top 10 just barely, running behind Jimmie Johnson in the 11th and 12th positions, but obviously that 1 car not quite as fast as it was at the beginning of the race. But you're going to see there's going to be some controversy here as they get together in turn 3 and 4. I couldn't tell if Johnson was trying to slow down to come to pit lane, but they grind all the way through turns 3 and 4, and Johnson somehow able to keep it from going all the way around. No caution comes out. We're going to see a short time later Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman coming down for their pit service. So I'm not sure if Johnson was necessarily trying to take his pit there, but Busch clearly got into the back of him right there. Kenseth's going to be one of the last guys among that fast group to come down for a pit stop, and there's going to be problems once again. This has just been a cursed race right here as Alex Bowman running in the second position with Kevin Harvick just following, had to check up to avoid him, and Chris Buescher got into him a little bit. The 88's going to have to come back down the pit lane. Not going to drop out of the race, but he is going to have to get his car serviced. Chase Elliott going to take the first stage. Harvick and Newman round up the podium on that one. Hamlin and Kenseth on the top 5. And like we said, this race might be cursed because Chase Elliott taking the pit service. He's got some problems on his race car, and he is stuck there on pit lane. He is not going to drop out, but he is going to fall a lap down. That is going to hand over the lead to Kevin Harvick as they get ready to go on this one. but several drivers having problems in just the first 100 laps of this race. Right now up here in the top 10, we got Bubba Wallace and John Hunter Nemechek having at it. Neither of these guys necessarily driving top-tier equipment, but Bubba Wallace, we've seen him have some flashes of excellence in certain races, and John Hunter Nemechek, he showed that off at Darlington race number 1. He is definitely putting up a performance worthy of that right now, and William Byron going to have a problem as well. Mechanical problems continue for several cars in the field, but especially for Hendrick, who has seen Alex Bowman come to pit lane and Chase Elliott stuck on pit lane. And from second place, as he was challenging Kevin Harvick for the lead, Denny Hamlin going to go up in smoke. And that is going to take him out of the race as he comes down to pit lane, no caution still. And the chaos is going to continue on the racetrack as Ty Dillon plows it into Christopher Bell. Looks a lot like Kurt Busch getting into Jimmy Johnson, except this time it was a lot harder, and Bell gets into the outside wall. That will bring out our next caution this race. And it looks like it came out just an ideal time. As look at Matt DiBenedetto blowing a tire as the field slows down for the caution. Looked like he was going to have a mechanical problem there, but it was just a blown tire. He will be able to maintain position on the racetrack, so restart second just behind Kevin Harvick as we're approaching the end of stage 2. Harvick will be able to get away from Bubba Wallace, who he was able to put a lap down. Unfortunate for 43 as he had just gone that lap down. But here comes Matt Kenseth to the inside of the 4 car, looking to take the lead over. He put up a solid performance in the first Darlington race, his first race back since 2018. And right now showing a lot of speed going to the inside of the 4 car. 42 headed to the front. But here comes some more contact. Martin Truex Jr. getting into Kurt Busch going into turn 3. Almost in the same fashion that Busch got into Johnson. Just as we saw just a few moments ago, Ty Dillon getting Christopher Bell. That time, though, they'll slap the wall. Truex goes for a half spin. They'll bring out the caution, clean up the racetrack. Kenseth out in front on the restart. He'll be able to pull away from the 43 once again at the start. And here comes the 18 car down to pit lane. You see he has a little bit of front-end damage that came from the stage brake pit stop. He got into his teammate, the 20 car, coming to his stall. Stage 2 is going to end right here, and Kenseth is going to beat out Kevin Harvick for the stage win. Keselowski, Almirola, Ryan Newman also in the top 5. We'll take the restart here, and it will be Kenseth out in front after completing pit stops. You can see Alex Bowman there. He's on the inside along with Chase Elliott. Bowman is 2 laps down. Elliott is 1 lap down. They're trying to get their lap back. Obviously, Bowman's going to need a little bit more work to get somewhere, but Chase Elliott just behind him. If he can get on the lead lap and to get a caution, that'll be ideal for him. And here we go. Matt Kenseth getting caught up in some lap traffic. Alex Bowman going to be able to shoot right by as he gets a good run off the corner that Kenseth is not able to get. And he is going to go to the inside and take one of his laps back. Now he's got to get the other one back. Might need a caution's help for that. Joey Logano maintaining that top 10 position. He was kind of slow earlier in the race, but he's been able to stay on the lead lap. Unfortunately, though, for him, he is one of the last cars on the lead lap. He's just trying to make sure they can stay there for the rest of the stage. We're going to have yet another car go up in smoke. Cole Custer going into turn 3. It's been a trouble spot for a few drivers, and that is the second Stewart-Haas racing machine to blow up this race. Meanwhile, the other 2 are running in the top 5 right now, Kevin Harvick and Aric Almirola. However, we've seen a couple of second-place cars have problems. Jimmy Johnson now the driver that's trying to see if he can get one of his laps back. And he is going to be on the lead lap if he can do it. And he's battling with Matt Kenseth going into the corner, looking to see if he can get there. And for now, he might be able to stay on the lead lap. But he's going to need to get some help. We're going to have some problems here going into turn 3 as BJ McLeod gets caught up right by John Hunter Nemechek. Dove way further in the corner than the 78 did. That will turn McLeod around, and that will bring out a caution. Martin Truex Jr. having problems. He is on pit lane, and he is staying there. He is going to fall off the lead lap. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is going to get back on the restart. Jimmy Johnson did not get his lap back, and in fact had some problems on pit lane that is going to drop him further back in the field. But Harvick is maintaining the pace over to Benedetto. We see Aric Almirola. He has not been in the conversation a lot until now. He has obviously stayed on this lead lap, and he is trying to see if he can work his way up to the front of the field. Looking to the inside of Matt Kenseth, unable to make it work into the corner, but he is right there, right in contention. With talked about Alex Bowman trying to make up one of his laps. Well, looks like he had some contact on pit lane as damaged his front and back end several seconds off the pace. At the line for the stage, Kevin Harvick just barely able to beat out Eric Almirola as they approach lap traffic. The 4 car will take the stage win, but it's 1-2 for Stewart Haas after 2 of their cars have already blown up. Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Matt DiBenedetto on the top 5. So here comes Harvick taking the restart for the final stage of the night. 100 laps, 150 miles to go. Almirola able to stay on Harvick's heels, and he's going to try to make a move to the inside for the race lead. Almost got him there at the end of stage 3, but this time he might be able to maintain that gap. Just has to get in front of him. Not quite clear. Both of those lanes running pretty even right now. Meanwhile, Chris Buescher has shown up in force as he tries to get himself back on the lead lap. There's the driver we haven't talked about all night, and now he is looking to see if he can pass up the leaders to get back on the lead lap. Still looking for his way around the 4 car, but problems here as Brennan Poole gets turned by Garrett Smithley in turn 3, and the leader, Eric Almirola, gets a chunk of it. You saw the right front of his car get clipped. Ross Chastain also runs into the 15 car. Here's his onboard from Almirola, and there's the clip that he has on the 15 car, and he goes straight to pit lane with that damage. He's able to stay in the race, but that is a heartbreak for Almirola, who's having a great day going right there. He's going to start in front of the leaders right here as Matt DiBenedetto now holds the lead. But the 10 car does not go at all. All of those cars on the inside charging right by, getting their laps back. But the 21 has nowhere to go. Neither does any of the lead lap cars. The 6 is the first to go to the inside line. And now it looks like the 21 has the ability to go to the inside of the 10, as a couple more of those lead lap cars might get held up. But DiBenedetto has a few lapped cars behind him now. That's a little bit of a gap between him and the next car up. And that car would be Kevin Harvick, who's making a charge, as Bubba Wallace, who's trying to get back on the lead lap, becoming a little bit of a nuisance to the 21 car. And that's going to allow the 4 to catch up to the 21, and Harvick will dive bomb down into turn 3, try to see if he can make the move, and he will clear him coming out of turn 4. Well executed by Harvick, but they're going to get caught in lap traffic, and DiBenedetto once again able to take the lead as Harvick's trapped behind Yaley and Gray Galding coming to his side. But once again, the 4 car will be able to catch up in just a few laps' time. He definitely looks like the strongest car on track as they go on the backstretch side by side. An intense battle here, but Galding's going to get involved in a little incident here as he gets turned by Jimmy Johnson. Galding going to clip Bell, and that is going to set up a late race caution. So once again, they're going to have to battle, and they're all going to be bunched up. Give an opportunity to one of those guys further behind them. But DiBenedetto on the restart, a great jump for the 21. Leaves the 4 car a little bit in the dust as Bubba Wallace still has that inside line, but Harvick could still make that outside line work. Could be a little bit of a momentum boost. Meanwhile, DiBenedetto, though, he is able to get out a little bit in front as Harvick and Wallace run side by side, with a couple cars behind them as well. Still, Harvick is able to pull back up to the 21 car, and he's going to try to look for the lead here in turn 3. Coming out of turn 4, and DiBenedetto still has a run off the corner. He will not give up that lead, but the 4 car is right there, still trying to fight him for it. White flag flies, the 21 holds the lead, the 4 car looks to the inside once again. Harvick going to dig down into that corner, but this time it sticks, and the 21 cannot maintain that momentum on the top. And the 4 is going to clear DiBenedetto. And Harvick takes the lead on the last lap. 21 has one more shot at it, but he can't get to the 4 car. With an amazing last lap move, Kevin Harvick able to pull it away from DiBenedetto to get his first career win, and Harvick will be our champion here in the Coca-Cola 600. What a wild race. So many teams and drivers having issues after issues, but the 4 was able to maintain the position all the way to the end, and he will come out victorious. DiBenedetto will have to settle for second. Kenseth, Keselowski, and Buescher with the great move to get back on the lead lap. He will round out the top 5 as Ryan Newman pulls off another top 10 here, and John Hunter Nemechek once again showing an impressive run right there in 8th place. Bubba Wallace also cracks the top 10. No Toyotas in the top 10. Martin Truex Jr. the first one, up in 11th place. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, they had looked to get back on the lead lap at times, but they were unable to make it there. Kyle Busch, another uncharacteristically bad day, and Joey Gase able to crack the top 20, albeit 5 laps down. As you can see, several teams having plenty of problems. Alex Bowman, William Byron, they had to make their way down the pit lane a couple times. Christopher Bell got wrecked out late. And there are all of the cars that dropped out of the race. A couple of those upper ones due to accidents later on, but guys like Clint Boyer and Denny Hamlin succumbed to mechanical problems. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.